So this is what I saw when people passed me on the street as I was going cold turkey from Zoloft. This is what I saw when people were driving their vehicles as I was going cold turkey on Zoloft. The only thing is, their bodies didn't move, it was just their heads. And that's a terrifying thing to experience if you don't know what's going on. What's up, everybody? Adam here with PTSDanddepression.com. Today, I'm doing another video. I'm doing all right. I'm making it. That means I got enough energy to do that. I got some other things I'm going to do today. So I'm going to tell you my personal story about going cold turkey off Zoloft. I'm also going to talk a little bit about brain zaps. So I went cold turkey, and for the first few days, everything was fine, which is normal because the drug has to get out of your system. But after that, things started getting progressively worse. I started getting brain zaps, and at that time, I didn't know what brain zaps were. It sucked. I was like, am I dying? What is this? So I had to Google it. I found a bunch of information. I'm like, okay, this is what it is. I'm suffering from brain zaps. And I just dealt with that portion of the brain zaps. Well, the brain zaps were just the beginning. I started becoming delusional almost. My thoughts were very strange. And it reminded me of being on an acid trip. I wasn't getting like suicidal thoughts or anything like that, which is common on these type of things. I have suicidal thoughts when I'm not on drugs. Yeah, no, I still have suicidal thoughts when I'm on drugs or not. No, I guess it never really happened that way for me. I don't know. Everybody's different, and that's the problem with medication and stuff like that. Everybody's different. Their chemistry is different. People react differently. Their experiences. If I hadn't had LSD in the past and known what type of mental shift was happening to me, I would have been terrified. I would have not understood what was going on. I would not have known that the things that I was seeing while on these drugs wasn't real. I was walking down the road, and every single person that I was interacting with was just like this. The people that were walking their dogs, and they were just doing this. Their heads were turning in ways that they shouldn't be turning. People who are driving in their cars, who should be looking at the roads, are not. They're just staring at me. And that's a terrifying thing to experience if you don't know what's going on. Fortunately, like I said, I've dabbled with psychedelics and whatnot, so I knew what was going on. I was aware that this wasn't reality, that it was the drugs that were making me do this, like making me see this, but holy crap. That's scary. Oh my God, dog. Really? You gonna do that right now? Ace. What are you doing? I feel like now you should get your butt over here and come on camera. Or not. If you like my story, give me a thumbs up. If you want to hang out for a little longer, I'm going to talk about brain zaps, my experience with them. Kind of what I did to get rid of the brain zaps, and what life is like now without medication. A lot of experience with brain zaps, being on various forms of medication, getting sick of them, going off of them, going back on them. It's a vicious cycle for me, and I'm assuming a lot of you as well. But the last straw was when I started getting brain zaps on Cymbalta. And I was getting them on a daily basis if I wasn't taking my medication within a couple hours. And that crap pushed me over the edge. I was just so sick and tired because my memory isn't very good. I've been hit by too many IEDs and I forget to take my medication. Rather than having to deal with the brain zaps, I went to my doctor and I'm like, hey, I want to get off this medication. I want to see what it's like to be completely drug-free and see if I can handle life. See if, my PTSD and depression, see how bad it gets, see how good it gets, and whatnot. So my doctor recommended that he came out with a plan. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but there's no point in even discussing it because it'll be different for you and different because you're not on the same drugs and blah, blah, blah. My dog will not leave me alone. Essentially, you're just weaning yourself off the drug. Now, I've heard a lot of horror stories about Cymbalta. I believe there's a website online that's specifically dedicated to Cymbalta withdrawals. And with some of the stuff I was reading with Cymbalta, it was a little worrisome because they were talking about people having withdrawal symptoms for like over a year. And that's another thing that I'm like, ooh, I've been on this for a while. I don't know what this is going to be like for me. I hope it's not that long, but fortunately it wasn't. It took me, I'd say a couple weeks. I used a couple different supplements when I was 100% off. I used spirulina, and what's the last one I used? Oh yeah, vitamin B complex. And I'll have all of those in the link in the description below. The thing about this stuff is everybody's different. So what works for one person might not work for another, which is part of the problem with this stuff. So some other things that I've heard that you can use is Benadryl. You can use skull caps. Skull caps are really interesting herb. I used a tincture, and I think I might go get some more of that skull cap stuff. That stuff, I don't know, it gives a kind of a little bit of a sedative effect and kind of just a mood enhancing effect in my opinion. So I might try some more of that. Now with this stuff, it specifically says take one capsule once per day, 30 minutes before a meal with a full glass of water. So I made a mistake. I didn't do it as it was described, and so I took some on an empty stomach, and it gave me a stomach ache. So don't take it on an empty stomach if you're going to use it. By the way, I am an Amazon associate, so if you do buy anything from the links in the description, I will get a little bit of a percentage of the sale, which helps me make more videos. Helps me stay motivated to make more videos. But I'll put every single type of supplement / medication that I've heard of in the description. And then you guys go do your own research, but come back and use my link. Another thing for brain zaps, drinking lots of water, eating well, don't be eating garbage, stay away from sugar. Sugar is not your friend. It never is and never will be. So that's all I got for this video. If you're still here, thanks for sticking through it. I know it's a long video. Please give me a like and leave a comment so I know that you actually made it all the way through the video, and let me know what you think. All right, thanks for watching. This is Adam with PTSD and depression, and I'm out.